like arts and craft kind of style, colonial, kind of American colonial mixed with arts and craft kind of style. If you guys are into cottage aesthetics, it's going to be cherry wood. I decided to go with cherry instead of walnut. Walnut is just too dark. I really like cherry with kind of a light kind of sage green or kind of minty green with that, and kind of a creamy whites. So it'll be a mixture of like creamy white, light sage green, and cherry wood. That's going to be the aesthetic in there. So lots of custom cherry wood molding on the archways of the doors. The floors will be cherry. The tables, everything will be the window frames. I'm going to craft everything. It's going to look very, very nice. It's going to have wood stoves. Very nice. Modern, but also a little bit retro. But it's not going to be like an off-grid cottage. It has electricity. It has a well. It has running water. It's not an off-grid, but you can heat it with wood or electricity. So it'll be a nice, not too rustic, but not too fancy either. I haven't decided on making it either one big bedroom upstairs or two, splitting it into two, or just doing a loft. Some cottagecore decor, yeah. Okay, the axis on the ball bearings, or just the axis. If the left and the right side where the axis run doesn't have a straight line to each other, the axis will get too much friction, lead to tuning issues. Good to know. Oh, thanks, Terry. I've been thinking a lot about it. I'll figure it out. Yeah, consistency is the thing with the Bigsby. Is it done yet? I'll keep people once. I didn't really tell showing pictures of it yet. There's a lot that has to be done before I can actually move ahead. There's a few problems with the foundation that need to be addressed, and the septic tank needs to be repaired or replaced, and those will be pretty big expenses off the bat. So it's kind of like if I can't get the septic tank fixed, there's no point in moving forward on the house, right? So it's like I have to handle all the practical things first as a home before I can start dealing with the artistic things. But I'm confident that all these things can be fixed. Without strings on, if you lift it, it should easily fall down from its own weight. If it stays in the upright position, then it's too tight on the one side. Okay, good to know. It should be loose. Yeah, it's big, but it's not huge problems. Like I said, there's a few cracks I noticed 2 cracks in the foundation, which I believe can be fixed. Yeah. Yeah, it's a neat little project. I can treat it like an art piece. So like here's the thing is my parents are really into pottery. So I'm going to have like the whole thing is going to be like an art piece. So it's a small home, little cottage. It doesn't have a lot of room. So it's like it's not going to have a lot of plates in it, right? So or a lot of places to store it. So like I want the pottery for the house, like the plates and the cups will match the green of the highlights and like the what I'm doing with the green in there. And I want to have like a cabinet that has like all the plates that are kind of like on display. So like it's going to have like, and then like the bathroom, I want to do a small little stained glass window I'm going to tie all of this into like the whole aesthetic of the cottage. Like I have a whole thing. It's going to have a little sunroom. It'll be nice. It'll be very, very cozy. It's a nice project because it's not too intimidating financially. You know what I mean? Because I got the cottage for a guitar. I traded my dad for a guitar, and he was like, "Okay, you can have this old cottage." He used to use it as a pottery studio, but it's getting kind of run down. We fixed the roof. It should get through the winter okay. It flooded a few years ago, so it just needs a bit of work. Timber, what's going on? How are you doing tonight? Yeah, it is. It will be a nice little cottage. My summer cottage. But the thing is, even if it ends up costing me a bit of money, it's initially I haven't had to pay for a huge upfront. So it's like that's the best thing. So even if I have to drop some cash on it, it's okay. I'm not losing on it. Any value I put into it, it'll retain. My mom was like, "Oh, you should make it an artist residence for like artists to go and stay in that place." And I'm like, "Oh, that's an interesting idea. Just like a temporary artist residence if you need a retreat. I think it would make a very nice writing retreat. That's where it would be. That's where you write your great Canadian novel about being destroyed by nature. That's what all great Canadian novels are about." Yeah, I'm going to, like Hemingway, yeah, had good bones. I'm going to have to tear out all the walls, replace all the walls. The support beams, there's a few rotten places in the floor, but most of it's okay. I can fix the floor that is messed up. Replace the chimney. Replace the windows with modern windows. But for the most part, it's okay. And then never leave. Just building it for my stalker. Yeah, you can just stay there in the off season. Wait. I'll go in there in the summer and be like, somebody was just here. There'll be like a warm cup of coffee on the table, but no one will be around. And it's like, I know who was here. In the crawl space, yeah. I got a vision. It's fun. It's fun to design spaces. I really like, I had a really good time building out this shop, figuring out what to do with all the space, how to make it nice. I wouldn't say, I like the idea of design. I wouldn't say I'm anywhere near an architect, but I can do design, and I'm the stuff that I don't know how to do, I can find people who can help me. Like I can't do electrical, and I shouldn't be. I'm not qualified. But I can tear out walls and put in new walls and do all like the kind of contracting stuff. I can do that myself. But I need plumbers. I need electricians. I'm not that handy. But it is nice. That's another thing. It's like I don't know if I could ever get property in Vancouver. It is so expensive here that it's nice to have a little bit of property and something of my own. Yeah, I like doing stuff like that. I like taking on a space and then just making it something new. Yeah, I will get the snazziest doorknobs. You just wait. I would do a fully carved uh, door, like doing the doors. I can CNC designs on the doors. It would look really nice. Yeah, 9 scripts. Tari, I'll have the perfect retreat to write your screenplays. I'm working on it right now. Next year, that'll be guaranteed productivity cottage. And you can be like Tari. You'd be like, I'm going to northern Saskatchewan, Canada, to write my great screenplays. No distractions there. You can go for long walks in the woods, and then write your many screenplays. No doors. Yeah. Yeah, Hank Bud Airbnb. Well, I want to treat it like a piece of art. It's not going to be like super ornate, but everything is going to be laid out really nice with how I do the counters. Everything is going to have a place. It'll be very me. I might do some art on the walls as well, like do all the artwork. I want to do some stained glass window design. I want the whole thing to be a full piece. Because I'll probably have to like make the bed frames as well. Things like that. It'll be fun. I don't know how much work. I'm probably biting off too much. But the internet is getting better in Saskatchewan. So if I do head there, I might be able to actually just stream working on the cottage, which would be really neat. We will see. Or I'll just keep it for myself. Yeah. You wouldn't find time to write. Yeah, that would be the problem. No, it'd inspire you. It'll be your downtime after the success. It's inspiring. Well, Will is getting some creepy property. Will is in the market for creepy property right now. A bunch of weird statues. We'll see about that. The Will's International School of Luthery. I'm just getting this right now. If you guys haven't seen what I'm doing, I haven't been explaining what I'm doing. I'm just carving out the neck pocket. Yeah, I think so too, Willie. I think we'll have to just modify those weird statues at the island property. We will see if that goes through. Will is just negotiating it right now. So if he can get that property, his fiance is for it. So she gave the okay. That was the last okay that he needed. The bank saw his business plan and was like, "Yeah, that's a good plan." So everything is for it. He just is trying to negotiate the price down to what he thinks is more reasonable. So we'll see if Will gets that property. If it does happen, it'll happen really quick. So a lot of crazy things going on now that I'm back. All this craziness is going on. It's going to just get intense again. That's the funny thing is like I take a break and then I come back and then it's like right back into like intense. Like we have 6 students here and it's like, oh man. I didn't even know we were going to have 6 students. Nobody told me. I knew we were going to have students, but it's all good. We can handle it. It's just a lot on the go right now. Sean needed some fingerboard slotted, and he needs a template. Today's Wednesday. He needs a template. I told him Friday morning I'd get him that. He needs an SG routing template. But he traded me a bunch of pickups for it. So I have pickups for this guitar and 2 others now. So that's all good. Just working. But I can't complain. I'm building guitars full time in a shop now. My guitar business is actually working, by the way. I'm finally like a real business. So it took a little while. Will just leaves his can of beer. I have commissions. I am a functioning guitar luthier this fall. So that's the first. Normally I've been just doing a lot of random stuff like teaching, fabricating, doing a lot of different woodworking projects, contracting and stuff. But I'm actually now, this fall, I will be 100% building Hank Bud guitars. I'll still be doing Coloma guitar stuff because we have to wrap up a bunch of stuff. But Hank Bud Guitars is actually functioning. So it's an actual brand. But that's about right. It usually takes 2 or 3 years to kind of get up and running properly. That's what they say. But who will write my story? I'm going to have to write my own screenplay. The Hank Bud story. The wild parties. The near-death experiences with drugs and fast cars. let me tell you something. The Hank Bud story is a roller coaster ride of outrageous antics. But I do the nice thing. The nice thing is that I'll have more time for doing a wooden roller coaster. Yeah. I need more time to do just more media stuff. I want to do some more stuff, more community engagement stuff. Like I was saying, like Rage has been talking. He wants to do kind of collaboration stuff. Spike wanted to do some like, you know, kind of marathon streams and stuff like that. So it's like there's a lot of interesting stuff that we can start now that things have settled down for me. I know everybody else, you know, there's work and there's other things. It's just a matter of scheduling things properly, you know, and organizing and stuff. So it's we can actually do the things. It's not just all talk. It's not all talk, but there's a lot of talk. There's definitely a lot of talk coming out of my end. Oh, and I have to do some more Hank apparel at some point. So if anybody has any ideas for the podcast, I don't know, what would be some fun podcast stuff? I was talking to Will and he was like, we should do guitar reviews. People just show Will guitars and he gives you his opinions. Or we can just talk about stuff and kind of show it. I don't really like, I know people do it and that's what gets views. I just don't want to do like current events, guitar gossip stuff. I really don't care about that stuff. But I could tell you some things about Fender right now. They're not doing so good right now. But reaction videos, that's it. We need reaction videos. That's what everybody likes to see. Hank reacts. Or I'll just start playing. I'll be like building guitars like all day, every day. So my Twitch channel will be my downtime. So I'll just start playing video games. It'll just be a video game channel. So we got an interesting guy here in the shop. Darren is from the Yukon. He was busy. He had to go pick up some stuff today, but I really want to have him on Friday. Darren said he'll sit down with me on the pod or on the stream for a little bit. I need to scrounge up a left-handed guitar for him. He's left-handed. We're building a left-handed RG style guitar right now with him, but it won't be ready for Friday. So he's a good player. He's a metal guy, but I need to find a left-handed guitar for him. I don't think we have any lefties in the shop. You want to challenge the older luthiers to Atari challenges? So we had a duck hunt challenge in the shop. I won. We got an old Nintendo and we were doing duck hunt, and basically I ruined the competition because I just destroyed everybody so much. Like I think I was like had like almost 500,000 points in it, and the next closest one was like 300,000. So I kind of ruined it. It was all well and good until I pulled ahead so far nobody could catch me. I think giveaways are fun and nice. I don't know if I still don't know. I have a month to figure out. I have like exactly a month for my 2-year streamiversary. It's going to be pretty hard to top last year, with Hamel coming out and Rage coming up, and Megan was there too. Megan will be at work this year. She won't be around. So it'll just be me and Rage. Just me and Rage for the 2-year streamiversary. We'll probably build guitars. As is our way. I like these new rasps we got from StewMac. They're pretty nice. I'm getting a nice clean, very clean carve on this thing. I have to make it perfect. It has to be perfect. There we go. Now I just have to get this one around. But yeah, yeah, send if anybody has any ideas about podcast topics and things. I do want to talk to Guitar Show Australia, Manny, about Australian woods, which I find are really interesting. A lot of us aren't too familiar with the Australian woods. We know a few, but there's woods that he's shown me that I had never seen before. Very, very nice stuff. Also, I think it's like, man, I need to start getting more music. I think the what would it be? Something I need to do more of. It's like I'm building all these guitars. People see the guitars, but they rarely hear the guitars. So I need to start reaching out to more players. Now that I do have my guitar brand launched, I'm tracking down a few players, people that might work and do some things, because we do have a small space in the other room here. We have a gallery room where we can have little shows, and we have had shows before. I was hoping AJ could do some stuff with her band, but she moved during COVID. She moved out to the interior, so she's got one of my guitars. She's my most prestigious artist that I had. Um, but she'll be back. I'll make her perform. I gotta get a new guitar. No snazzy young social media players to entice. Meredith has been doing a lot of that. I have not. I've been looking, because that's the thing is like, definitely it's nice to have interesting players, playing your guitars. It's cool. It creates a bit of a buzz, bit of an interest. Like having, so Meredith had Alvin Brendan play a bunch. He's a very, very good jazz guitarist. If you guys have seen my TikToks, like I know Gatto has, he's done a few demos, but he did some really nice demos on the Freyas and created a lot of interest in those. Which is funny because it's like, oh, if I buy that guitar, I'll sound like that. And it's like, it's probably not the guitar. It's probably your playing. But who am I? Who am I to say? To be honest, my guitar will probably help you play a little bit better because it's set up really nice. It's a good weight, but it'll not make you a great player. You're just going to have to practice. That's going to be my disclaimer with all my guitars. Like, look, it is a nice guitar. You'll want to play it. So you'll become a better player with my guitar, but my guitar won't magically make you a better player when you pick it up. You'll just want to pick it up more than you normally do. So that's not too bad. Yeah, it's Hank Butt or nothing. I've been practicing. My dad was giving me guitar lessons when I went back home. I'm trying to get better, but I need to practice. My dad was saying, he's like, you know what? Practice in the morning. Everybody thinks, oh, I'll practice when I get home from work. And he's like, no, you'll be too tired. It's better to practice in the morning. That's what he finds. He plays for a little bit in the morning, and he says that's a lot easier. When he comes home from work, he doesn't feel like playing. And it's the same with me. Like when I come home from the shop, I might do a bit of computer stuff, but then I don't sit there and practice for an hour. And I need to start putting at least an hour in a day. And I have not. I blame the students. The students have taken my time. Yeah. Rage, what's going on? How are you doing, Rage? Okay. So, this one's going to be painted, so it doesn't need to be. That's why it's like it's a bunch of laminated pieces. I filled a bunch of the dings and pores the other day. I just need to sand that down, and then I can start spraying it. It's pretty good for the most part. I got the tummy cut out. It feels good. It's a good feeling guitar. Rage, what are your plans for the streamiversary? What should we do? What should we do that's fun? Are we fun people? Maybe we're not even fun people. That could be the problem. The biggest problem we have is we're really boring. How can we be fun for the people? People want to have a good time. We'll get some A&W. That sounds like fun. I don't know if anybody else will think that's fun, but we can have fun doing that. So, for those who don't know, A&W is one of the biggest fast food chains in Canada, other than Tim Hortons. Every little town has an A&W. I know A&W isn't the biggest in the States, but in Canada, A&W has a really, I don't know why, Canadians really like A&W. I'll come up with something. Don't worry. It's not your guys' job to come up. Let's make guitars. Yeah. Let's make guitars and hang out. I don't have to qualify myself to anyone. I make guitars. I'm a guitar maker. Isn't that exciting enough? I'm making a guitar right now. That's the sound of a guitar being made. Rage. Shop tour of Bow River. We could go wood shopping. You guys can see what it's like for us to go shopping for wood and go to all the special places that you guys don't even know exist, but the luthiers know. All right. This is looking better. Extra money to buy stuff. Do you guys want to see Rage drop thousands of dollars at a wood store? That's crazy. People would be like shocked, but also excited. That's what gets people excited. Big purchases, especially for things that they don't understand. So it's like, why is he spending that much on wood? That's insane. You guys are crazy. You guys are real ballers. That's what they'll think. Let me tell you something about myself and Rage Guitars. We don't care. We don't care how expensive it is. Our guitars deserve the best wood. So we'll spend that money on it. The best. It's getting close. Those heels always take me a little bit more time, but people notice that. They notice when I do this. When I do that little carve that lines up, they're just like, oh, that's a nice little feature. Ooh, that's nice. It looks like you did that by hand. Why, yes, I did. Why, yes, I did. Sorry, Rage. No celebrity endorsements on my stream this year. That's what you do. You just get celebrities to pop onto your stream. I bet you if I had a bit of cash, I could get Snoop Dogg to come onto my stream. I bet you I could. I think he'll do anything. I heard Snoop Dogg will do anything for a bit of cash. That he'll show up on music videos, anything you want. Just pay him. Pay him and he'll do it. So, and he's a Twitch streamer. Even though it doesn't fit with my guitars at all. You lost your surfacing bit? What happened? I'm going to get T-Pain. What do you think about this lineup? I got T-Pain. I got Snoop Dogg. I got Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is a guitar player. I'll have the most inappropriate celebrity endorsements. Waka 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 waka. All right. Okay, I'm very close. You guys have no idea how close. I've said that before, but this this neck is very close to being a completed, well, a carved neck, and then I have to sand it, and then I'm going to have to dye it. But other than that, we are very, very close. Okay, let me grab some sandpaper. Martha Stewart plays Hank Budd guitars. Yeah, somebody like that. Somebody who has like name recognition but doesn't necessarily play the guitar. I'm not surprised you're angry, Rage. What happened? What happened, Rage? Tell me. Tell me why you're angry. Let it out. You know what the Dalai Lama said? It's okay. It's okay to be angry if you have a reason to be angry. I don't think the Dalai Lama, he said it's okay to be sad if you have a reason to be sad. I don't think he said it was okay to be angry. But I will say it's okay to be angry if you have a reason to be angry. If you have some grievances against the world, let me tell you about the world, man. I got grievances too sometimes. I got serious grievances. Why? You know what happened to my surfacing bit? My surfacing bit gets broken too sometimes. You can't find your 2-inch surfacing, like your computer can't find the surfacing bit. Your robot can't find it. Anyway, technical problems. Life is filled with technical problems that must be overcome. What we do... No, it's physically missing. That's weird. Why would they take it? I hate it when stuff goes missing. I always have someone to blame. When something goes missing, I have a lot of people in the shop I can blame. I can blame Will. I can blame Meredith. I can blame students. I can really get that blame, spread that blame around, right? But when you have your own shop, who do you blame? Who do you blame when something goes missing? I guess that's when you just get angry. Nobody ever blames me for anything. Let me tell you about this sanding I'm doing right here. I need to get my light over here so I can get all the little rasp marks. This was a pretty good little pocket carve. It's hard to get this just right. I always have to go in with like a little bit of sandpaper, just get everything nice. But I like doing these little detail things. I don't know why. They're a lot of extra work. You can just kind of transition your neck pocket. You just kind of like blend it into the two shapes. Like you don't have to do this. That's why I don't know if I'm a very good guitar teacher, because a lot of the things I do are just for my guitars, because I think it looks good, but I wouldn't necessarily tell anyone this is what you have to do, because it's like, that's what I do. You can do it if you want, but this is what I do. But I wouldn't want anyone thinking they have to do this. It's the underpants gnome. That's really weird. Really weird. Well, I don't know what to say. You don't deserve that. That sucks, Rage. You don't deserve to lose your leveling bit. That's outrageous that you have to tolerate that. That happening. Once I get this nice, then everything will fall into place. Okay. Yeah, I'm all ready for the stream anniversary. Hopefully this guitar will probably be ready by the stream anniversary. I'm pretty sure this guitar will be ready. This one won't take too long. I got 2 commissions. I don't know if I'll have the McCarty guitar done, but I'm definitely going to have the Spalt. The Spalt will be done by then. Okay. Let's see how that fits in there. Look at this. Look at this. That's what I've been working on. Just a nice shape. Very nice looking shape that fits into the other nice shape. Everything looks intentional. That's what, yeah, it's a sanding party, Tree Frog. How are you doing? I just got back from Saskatchewan last week. I'm back in the shop. I caught some fish. I traded my dad a guitar for an old shack. So I'm now a shack owner in Saskatchewan, a proud owner of a shack, which many people in Saskatchewan also own shacks. Oh, he'll be there, Rage. Don't worry. He'll show up when he's ready to show up. He'll show up fashionably late. Rage really wants Devin Townsend to be at my stream anniversary. I'll see if I can deliver. We'll see what we can do. Okay. Yeah, it's a percussor to the tiny house. That's how I'm treating it. I'm going to fix it up and make it a nice little tiny house. That's what people lived in Saskatchewan back in the day. They're just tiny homes. Tiny home enthusiasts. Saskatchewan was settled by a bunch of tiny home enthusiasts. Anyway, how's your summer going, Tree Frog? Who wouldn't want him? I don't want him there. Let me tell you something. Me and Devin had a falling out. We had a falling out. I'm sorry, Rage. I don't think he's going to come anymore. We're not friends anymore. Okay. Okay. I think this neck, I just have to call it done at some point. Then I'll do my 220. And then I need to put some frets in this thing, in this thing. But that's pretty close. Pretty good. Pretty good looking. Then we'll get to put some frets in there. There's a fire pit and an outhouse. You've got a great place for relaxing summer evening. Yeah. Let's repair the relationship. Let's give him a guitar. Yeah. That's how we will we'll reconcile. Here, Devin, I made you a guitar. But that's what started it. He was like, give me a free guitar. And I was like, no, you got to pay for it. I know you're good for it. And he's like, no, you know who I am. I demand one of your guitars, Hank Bud. I demand one of your guitars, is what he said to me. And guess what and then I was like, no. And he's like, well, then let me play one. And I was like, well, take off your hoodie and your belt first or you'll scratch it. And then he just got angry and started yelling. He's like, do you know who I am? I don't have to take off my belt or my hoodie if I'm going to play your guitar. And then I kicked him out. And he never came back. And he sent me a message. He sent me, sorry you were offended message, Rage. That's what he did to me. Sorry you were so offended, Hank. That's why he's not allowed in the shop anymore. True story. 100% true, 0% false. So what would you do? What would you do in that situation, Rage? You'd give him all your guitars, even if he wore his belt and scratched all of them. What if he just used you? Just used you for your guitars? You better watch out, Rage. There's going to be a lot of artists out there who'll just use Rage guitars for their own selfish ends. They don't care about your guitars. They don't care about your art. They only care about what they can use to aggrandize themselves. This is the harsh world that the luthier lives in. You don't have any real friends as a luthier. You just have another person trying to bite off your success. That's how it really is. Don't you know? There's only two types of friends in the luthier world. Those who've betrayed you and those who are going to betray you. That's the tough world. That Rage isn't ready for that yet. Yeah, that guy ruined it for himself. It's been pretty nice. Pretty nice having a shop. I pretty much had this shop to myself for most of COVID. There was a few, like there was some days where I would literally just be here in the shop, hanging out by myself, just working on ukuleles. I did that for months, just working on my stuff, doing my thing. That's the thing. I guess that requires a bit of discipline. Not everyone can do it, and that's okay. It's good to find out if you can. If you are the kind of person who needs to be directed, you could get a full shop all to yourself and not get anything done. You have to be really into what you're doing. For me, it was all new. It was new, and I really like learning things. I get a lot of energy from learning something new. I get excited about it. So it worked out well for me. This lifestyle. I haven't had a boss since 2018. The streaming happened. I went back home to Saskatchewan, and I saw Papa Doom. He's a childhood friend of mine, and he was like, "Hey, you should start streaming on Twitch. You should stream your ukulele builds." And he was like, "There's a makers and crafting section." I had no idea, but that's basically how it started. And I was like, "Oh, okay. That might be interesting." That's the origin story. I was already building, but it was like, it seemed like an interesting medium. You would do something dumb and make like 10 bodies. That happens too. You just make a bunch of bodies and then just never finish them. I find I can handle about 3 or 4 guitars at once. Costs you a case of beer. That's not bad, Nemi. That's not bad at all. Ebony scraps. Ebony scraps are usually pretty small. So 2 years on Twitch here, coming up. The channel's been growing pretty consistently. That's not scrap. Yeah, ebony, for luthiers, scrap ebony is like tiny. That's 8 violin fretboards, yeah. Maybe an inch. Scrap ebony, you might get like an inch or 2 of little, something you could use for an inlay. Okay. This is a nice piece of maple that Rage brought me. Good old Rage. You can get smaller. A chunk of ebony, that's not going to be cheap. You can get things of ebony, but it's not cheap. What would you make with that ebony, Nemi? Yeah. Rage is the guy. Okay, so that's good. I'm keeping a little bit of actually I can take that in just a little bit more. Take that in. Get all the nice sand. This is going to be my redneck guitar. I'm going to dye it red. So that's what I'm calling this one. Yeah. Frettchen is the German word for ferret. I don't understand German at all. Don't ask me. I don't know any other languages but Canadian. I only speak Canadian around here. I speak the language of sanding. Let me tell you something about the language of sanding. It's universal. Anyone can understand it. Because it's a song, man. Sanding is a universal song of the appreciation of fine handcrafted goods. Do you understand? Yeah. Well, this one is going to be for a big river. I'm painting it black. It'll be gloss black. It'll have a red tort pickguard. So I think this is flamed. So I think it'll look pretty nice to dye it red with the tort pickguard and then chrome hardware. It's going to be not anything too radical, but it'll be a nice looking neck. I think it'll be, in the end, it'll be a nice simple build. You know? Yeah. That's the thing, Tari, is like English is Germanic, but it's definitely closer to Dutch. I understand Dutch better than German or Low German. It's connected to Low German. Hey, John Robinson Leather, how are you doing? Garlic, Vinegar. What's going on, John Robinson? House, Haas, Mouse, Moss. Yeah, all those things are the same. Mutter, mother, Mutter, Vater. Son, sun is the same, like as in the sun, son. There's a lot of words that are the same. Gar means sharp. You're still here. That's what's going on. What have you been working on, John? You got any projects on the go? Vater and father are the same. Okay, I think this is time. So I don't normally do painted pickguards, but I do have the pink one here. So it will be a similar, you made a cosplay item? That's awesome. Your first cosplay. Are you getting into cosplay now, John? Oh, Darth Vader. Oh, I get it. That's clever. That's really clever. I never picked up on that before, Tori. It is his father. The Dark Father. Yeah. Uncharted. Drake's Sherpa coat from the Tibet part of Uncharted 3. Nice. That's just a nice jacket regardless. It's nice when you do cosplay that it's like, oh, you could just wear that in the winter. That's what happens to my sister. She's really into cosplay, and then every once in a while, like some of her costumes just end up as her regular clothes, and it's like that's not your real clothes. Oh, nice. Yeah, let me see it. Anyway, so this body just needs to be sanded, and then it can be sprayed. This neck is good to go. Thanks again to Rage Guitars for all of my wood related needs. That neck feels good. Yes, you can have a link. You can put a link in the chat. It's no problem. Did the blood of the Predator in the first two movies, Cheap and Smart, what did they do? This is a really nice neck carve. I don't know about you guys, but this is actually, it's kind of nice to do a simpler guitar, but still go all out on it and do a really nice neck carve on this. So like, here's the thing. There's no difference in the time I put into the neck on my fancy guitars to my regular, like just whatever guitars. Like this one, I'm literally making the body out of a table. This Rage gave me this wood graft or Richlight gave me this fingerboard. So all these materials, like I didn't have to pay for. I'm going to have to pay for the paint and the finish. Sean gave me the pickups. I'm going to have to buy tuners and and the bridge, some of the electronics and stuff. But for the most part, it's like, it's just time. It's just putting in the time. But I put the same amount of time into the necks, you know? You have Paduke. You have that Paduke body. I have two really nice Paduke body blanks. Let me show you something really interesting really quick. Actually, speaking of Paduke, you should see this. That camera doesn't pick up. Look at this vibrant red Paduke. That's Paduke wood, right? Look what, this was a fingerboard that we cut off. That was an oiled fingerboard. That's the color it turned into. So keep that in mind with Paduke. You have to seal it. You have to seal Paduke or else it will turn into brown. So it's like you're working with it, you sand it, it's all nice and bright red. Then it turns into brown. Yeah, you got to use the UV. So you can't just, this fingerboard was oiled about maybe a year or two ago and just sat. That's not even pretty. That's not even, it just looks like brown, like nothing, just grayish brown. Anyway, it started out like that. Yeah. You gotta use a UV protector. Oh, the fluid, the glow-in-the-dark fluid from glow sticks. Yeah, that totally makes sense. That's definitely what it is. They use green ones. Makes sense. That totally makes sense that that's what the glowing predator blood was. That's what it looked like. Anyway. Seal your Paduke. You have 4 super duper bodies. I have a super duper neck. Well, if you like the look of old gray oak, yeah, it's surprising that it turned into that. But that's what happens. You need to price some Paduke. Anyway, I'm just going to blow this out, and then I am going to put in the frets. Give me a moment. I didn't expect to get this far along today. I thought I'd be talking smack and not getting anything done. But now look at me. I got to check. Oops. I got this set of tuners. These are Wilkinson tuners. I didn't realize that I got the tuners that were all one piece. They're not individual, which is fine. They should be spaced out correctly so it doesn't matter. Yeah, these are spaced out. Pretty good. They should be okay. I hope these work. I've never used this. I made a mistake and got the ones that were all, but I'm kind of worried about the ones on the end. Oh, it's still fine. They'll fit. Everything will fit. Okay. Okay. Man, that's what goes on in the Marine Corps there, John. Did somebody say glow sticks? Yeah. Well, what would be neat? Actually, you know what's neat? What you could do with that Hadoop is you let it turn gray, and then see the slots cut into it are like bright orange. So what you could do with it is let it turn brown, cut out a design, then seal it so that inside it's like the cut stays bright orange, and then the outside is like kind of gray. That's one thing you could do with it that would look neat. You could do that. All Gatalogic has some plans, some big plans. Okay. So, one of the things I need to do. Here's something I do. Let me show you something I do. After you radius your fingerboard, everything's like 90 degrees. So the ends of the fingerboard are always a little sharp. I might have already done this. I like to just take a bit of a sanding block and just bevel those edges before I put the frets on. So they just don't feel as sharp, and then I can bevel the frets to the same angle. I think that just feels better on the hands. It's just a subtle thing. I noticed Halcyon Guitars does that. I saw a build he made for Will, and I was like, oh, that's what you do there. That's a good idea. So anyway, I started doing that. It's always good to see a lot of... let me see if Will left his Damoness here. Have you guys seen the Damoness? I don't know if it's still here, but if it is, I'll show you a crazy guitar. You guys are in for a treat. Will left one of his finest guitars here. He was showing one of the students. Look at this guitar. So this is a Damoness, and the guy literally does paintings on the guitar. I have to get it closer. It's a World War I scene painted on that guitar, all into the fretboard. I'll put it under here so we can actually see the details. Get that light out of there. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can really see. It's more about the painting than the guitar, but that's This is one of Will's favorite. Yeah, it's just a standard kind of metal guitar, but it's more about the painting on it. Yeah, it's really, really nice. Like, it looks like one of those like kind of heavy metal album covers. And then he did, the fingerboard even has a painting on it, and then the headstock as well. But I hope that you guys can see the detail there. But did you guys see it? Yeah. There we go. It's a neat piece. Will really likes this guitar. So this is a builder, Damon S. Pointy guitar, very metal. It's got some bare knuckle painkillers in it. It does have an interesting bridge. I do like that bridge as well. That's really neat looking. I'll find out what bridge that is. I'm just going to put it away because it's so nice. Why is my camera so low? There we go. Anyway, that's one of Will's prized possessions. Yeah, it's worth quite a bit. Not like insane amounts, but it's a fairly expensive. If you're into custom guitars. Yeah, is there a print top version? Yeah, there's always that. Oh, that reminds me. I need to buff the fingerboard before I put the frets on. I'm going to make it shiny, as is my new thing now. Got to get all my nice sandpaper out. Why do I have so much 220? Okay. I got to polish this thing up. Polish that up to 12K. That's the one nice thing about Richlight is you can buff it up pretty high. That's all thanks to Manny there. I never would have buffed it that high. Yeah, it's the Battle of the Somme. Yeah, that's what it's called. That's the nice thing about Will. being a collector is that I've been able to see a lot of high-end customs and kind of seeing what the market is like and what other builders are doing and the quality of their work and the price point that they're selling it for, you know. Yeah. Have you tried using your merch shirt to do a fabric top with fabric that has wood grain? Well, I did. I haven't done anything else other than the Hot Burl summer swimwear. But we'll see. I might do some other stuff at some point. So there's a scratch right down the middle. Oh, Chevy guy. What's going on? What's going on, Chevy guy? Look at, check out the apron I'm wearing. Chevy just sent me the strap in the back. Now it holds really nice. Look at this. Look at this. I can do anything in it. I can dance. I can sand. Anything. Thanks again, Chevy, for the wonderful apron. Yeah, charging enough is always that's always a thing. I realized I had to charge more if I wanted to keep going as an artist. When I did my taxes last year, I was like, I worked all year and I didn't make enough money. I better start charging more money if I want to keep working. That's the conclusion I came to. Thanks, Chevy. How's your summer been, Chevy? I'm going to wear it all the time now. That was the one thing. It just, thank you for fixing that. It was like, I really did want to wear it. It's exactly, I like the heavy waxed canvas. I just couldn't have it falling over all the time. But now it's perfect. Yeah, Rage. I haven't done any fabric tops. I really like those burl tops though. Yeah, no, not going to happen, Beige. I'll just get a model. I'll just find a model who's into what I'm doing. How are you doing, Beige Shirt? Yeah. So Tari, you can get those patterns in paper. You know what you can use, Tari, for those Japanese patterns is what's it called? Those paper animal folding. Oh, I can't think. You know what I'm talking about? Where that art of folding paper into different animals and objects. What's that called? Anyway, you can get those patterned origami. Yeah, so you can get Japanese floral patterns in the origami paper, and that would I think you could do a top with that. I think that would look really good. Yeah, my brain don't work no right. Just busy. Well, Chevy, my 2-year stream anniversary is coming up September 25th. It's been 2 years now. 2 whole years. Did I reveal the Muracaster on my 2-year stream anniversary? Was that the big reveal? Or my 1-year stream anniversary? Can't remember. My brain done not work no right. Yeah. The problem is finishing it. Doing the finish over top. I think for me it's better to just do fancy tops. People like the fancy tops. You just have to spend the money to get the fancy tops. That's the trick. That's the secret that Rage and I learned. You just buy the fancy wood. I'm doing pretty good, Beige. I took 3 weeks off. I'm back. This is my second stream back. Just try and get back into the swing of things, except we have 6 students in the shop right now, so I'm came back into very, not stressful, just like a lot of work. Right away. I got things to do. I got tons of things I gotta do. The Hank bass has not happened yet. Yeah. I moved the date a little. Yeah, I can't remember anymore. I'll have to review the footage. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I'd have to use a lot of poly. Poly is pretty expensive at this point, but I wouldn't have to spend the money on the top. Like, it would save me money because I wouldn't be buying as fancy wood, but then it would kind of all even out with the amount of finish I would have to put on that. I'd have to put a lot. You need a Hank tank. What's going on, Panic? I know. I said I was going to do it and then I didn't do it. Panic is holding me accountable. How's your summer been going, Panic? Good to see you. There we go. Okay, that's all the scratches. Chevy, have you been practicing your guitar? I haven't been practicing mine. I tried to practice. I really need to practice guitar. That's my thing. Yeah, the Hank tank. So there's a bunch of, I should, maybe for my stream anniversary, I'll reveal a bunch of new merch. I'm feeling pretty inspired myself as well. I wanna do some more artwork as well. The guitars are going well. And that's good, but now that I have a little bit more downtime, I can do more artwork related stuff that I've kind of wanted to do. So I can do some more merch and art and drawings. I wanted to do some paintings this summer, but I didn't have time. So maybe I'll get around to that stuff. Maybe. So like I've been saying, one of the advantages, this fingerboard is rich light. So it doesn't need to be oiled. It doesn't need to be sealed. So I can buff it up as is to a pretty high grit and get kind of a satin sheen on it. Your birthday is tomorrow? Well, happy birthday, Panic. What are you going to do for your birthday? I need to adjust. My camera keeps like going lower and lower. It's going under the table. Give me a second to adjust this thing. Oops. Just keeps wanting to fall. There we go. Nobody wants to see my knees. Maybe some of you weirdos do, but you don't get to see my knees. You've been practicing keeping it in mint condition. I did sell my guitar, and now I need a new guitar. I'm building myself a new guitar, but I still have a few lying around the shop. I got no time to play guitars. I still don't know. I'm still trying to think. I'll come up with something. Something fun for the streamiversary. Maybe. Should I give something away? Nothing? Well, it is a Thursday night. You put on your hang tank and you go out. I haven't done anything for my birthday in a very long time. Many years. Once you get to a certain age, it's like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It's nice when somebody wants to do something for your birthday for you, but I don't do anything for myself. I don't even think I tell anyone on the stream when it's my birthday. Maybe I'll let people know I'm turning 40 next year. So maybe I should do something for that. That's like significant or something. Middle-aged man. How old are you going to be, Panic? Yeah, 32. My birthday isn't until February. I'm obviously an Aquarius. Obviously. You party, but you do nothing for your birthday. Well, sometimes you just gotta do something for yourself. I don't like making a big deal. of my birthday. It's like, I don't know. I don't need to do anything for myself. I'd rather just build another guitar. My camera just dropped again. What is going on with that thing? I keep adjusting it and it keeps going down. What's going on here? What's going on here? Yeah. I would like to go back to Saskatchewan for the forest music festivals. There's one, the Bluegrass Festival back home was in August, but I was busy when it was going on when I was back home, but I had things I had to do, so I wasn't able to hit up the local Bluegrass Festival out in the woods. But yes, there is a few little Saskatchewan music festivals I would have liked to hit up. I need to start putting time into things, though. I've been so focused on guitars. I've let a lot of things slide. Or not necessarily slide. I just haven't been doing, like, nothing matters. All that matters is guitars. And then this summer, like in the spring, I got my website up. I got my guitars up for sale. I sold some guitars. I did my showpiece guitars. All my showpiece guitars sold very quickly. Got a few commissions, which was awesome. And so it was like, okay, that infrastructure is set up now, like a regular job. Like I can just work that stuff like a regular person and not have to like devote every waking moment to my business. So now I'm kind of like, oh, I can just work and I can just do things, you know? But now I'm like, what do I do? I went to a restaurant a little while ago and realized I've probably only been to a restaurant a couple times. Obviously during the lockdown, I didn't really go to restaurants and stuff, but then it's like, man, I got pretty isolated during COVID and just worked. Like it didn't really matter because I was just in the shop working, so I didn't see a lot of my friends. Kind of grew apart from a lot of people. But who needs them anyway? I got better internet friends anyway. Who cares about real life friends when you have the internet friends? My real life friends never subscribe to me. They don't care. They don't want to hear me talk for 4 hours straight. They're not my real friends. It was funny, I went out I went out. There was some fireworks before I went back to Saskatchewan. I went and visited. We went downtown to the fireworks at English Bay, and I saw a bunch of friends who hadn't seen me in a very long time, in like 2 years. Some of them, yeah. You guys had in real life friends? Not anymore. Anyway, they had no idea I was building guitars. And it was like the last time they saw me, it was just like, oh, I was just doing whatever. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I have my own guitar brand now. And they're like, really? I was like, yeah, I prototyped a bunch of designs. I have a guitar brand. And they're like, crazy. They're like, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. That only happens in movies. I think that's 1,500. I'm up to 1,500. Nowhere close to 12K yet. What was this one? 1,500. Now I'm at 2,000. I've made it to 2,000, everybody. 2,000 grit. That's an outcast. Poor Chevy. That's why I got you that guitar, Chevy, so you could write your ballads, your emotional ballads. Why cry when you can sing a song? I remember that Outcast album. That was a good album. That's another thing. Us just sanding on the wrong side of sandpaper. I don't know if you guys... Why didn't you tell me I was using the wrong side? I sanded that whole thing with the wrong side. Not one person told me. I look like an idiot. You guys wouldn't have even noticed if I hadn't brought it up. That's another thing. Let me tell you something about getting old. Partying and hanging out with your friends isn't that big of a deal anymore. I don't even party. I just build guitars. I have sanding parties. Welcome to the sanding party, everybody. This is what happens when you get old. Chevy's got another 20 years to catch up to me. Just think of what Chevy... Yeah. Just think about this, Chevy. You got 20 years before you get to where I'm at. That's a lot of time to get things done. 20 years. Well, more like 18. You got 18 years. 18 years to catch up to me. Where I'm at right now. We're wide awake and alert. It's ginger ale flavored sparkly water. 17 years. It's sparkling water. It's not beer. I'm not partying. 17 years. Just imagine Chevy Guy, what Chevy Guy will be doing in 17 years. Think about the work that he'll be pulling off. You got to play the long game. Okay. I didn't do the color-coded thing like Manny, but I am using some micro mesh right now to just buff it up. But there it is. That rich light has a nice satin. You probably could get it glossy if I had the right micro mesh, but that's not bad. That's a nice satin. That's a nice satin finish. I think anybody would be happy to play that fingerboard. Too much sugar. Too much sugar. Let me tell you something, Beige. For this apron that Chevy Guy made for me to look this good, I can't be drinking sugar water all day. Look at this. Look at how it fits my form. I have to stay exactly this size for the rest of my life to keep wearing Chevy Guy's apron. So I gotta stay in. Chevy executives to pitch its relaunch of the LS, no replacement for the displacement. The electric is lame campaign. Yeah, I can see that. Chevy's going to have an amazing career. Absolutely wondrous career. You guys will see. You gave me a few adjustment holes. I could widen it out if I needed to. Hey, Angel Nat, thank you for that follow. Oh, Bluesy is raiding. Hey, Bluesy, what's going on? What were you up to today? I'm just sanding a guitar neck and talking smack with my man Chevy and Beige Shirt here. Good to know I can let myself go there, Chevy. Chevy Guy made me this apron, by the way. Zork, what's going on? I'm just sanding this fingerboard. Welcome, Raiders. For those of you who don't know, I'm a guitar builder in Vancouver, Canada, and I build custom guitars. And I'm just working on kind of more of a fun project right now. Yeah, shocked to see me saying. I've been on a bit of a hiatus for the last month, but I'm back and in peak form. Actually, I'm not in peak form. I got to get it back. So I'm hopping back on the sanding train. Those hat patches have been good. I don't have the hats at the shop because I wear them on my podcast. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been rocking the HB hat on my podcast. But I guess I have two. I think I have the corduroy one here at the shop. I definitely wear the one on my podcast, though. That's my podcasting hat. Hey, Angel Nat. Forza Horizon 5. Nice. Nice, Zork. Thank you, Zork. I'll show you some of the guitars that we have here in the shop. Thank you for that follow, Bluesy, and thanks for the raid. So, I'm in a shop with a few other luthiers here. This is our shop guitar. We call it the Freya, and this is not my design, but it's a guitar I build with Meredith Coloma, and it is a Zercote top, a semi-hollow with a maple strip and black limba body with a Zercote neck. So same wood as the top is the neck, and then we got a flame maple fingerboard on there. I don't know if you can really see the flame, but that's our Freya. I really like this guitar. It's one of them. And then I finished this one before I left on vacation. So this was the last guitar I did. I gave it away, Zork. I gave it away. I gave away all my ukuleles. It's gone. No more ukuleles. If you won one of my ukes, I was doing some giveaways. You're very lucky because I don't know when I'll be building ukuleles again. I'm full in electric guitars right now. Nice. Chevy Guy store launching soon. Looking forward to it. So this is a spalted maple. This is my semi-hollow design. This is my guitar that I make. It's called the Big River, and it's a semi-hollow, kind of a telly style guitar. Sapelli body, flame maple neck, spalted maple. I really like this spalted maple. It looks like a treasure map. So this is the natural grain, and it has all these like weird like black lines in it, and that's the wood decaying. It's like basically rotting, and that's the fungus eating away at the wood, and then it was dried before it fully rotted, and so that's why it has all those weird patterns in it. It's just like a neat kind of process. It's fungus. Anyway, looks like a treasure map. So let me tell you about this guitar. KR Acoustics, yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I think I follow KR. I'm pretty sure I follow KR Acoustics. Yeah, so beige shirt, these have bare knuckle telly pickups in it. And it is very, it's a real heavy guitar. It's very low. It's not a twangy. This is not a country guitar. This would be a very good like grunge rock. You could do metal on it. I'm not much of a player, Angel. Actually, I'm more of a woodworker. I'm embarrassingly bad at guitar for someone who builds guitars. But I'm trying to get better. I haven't had a whole lot of time. I was just saying, now that I kind of have the guitar thing down, I should get better at demoing my own instruments. But usually I just bring in artists to play them. They are very nice instruments. Like I can play enough to know what if it feels right and stuff, but I'm really not much. I'm not going to be doing any Guns N' Roses covers for you, which is probably a good thing. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I probably should. I'm going to seriously put in some time this year. I was practicing. My dad gave me some guitar lessons this summer. It's more of discipline. I've been so focused on the guitar building that I just haven't put aside that hour every day to get better. I can strum, I can play some chords, but I haven't put in that time to just be a competent player. I don't need to be an amazing player. I just need to be a competent player where I don't sound like an amateur or a beginner.